I don't even know where to start. um, my aspiration, my absolute aspiration, I think, for 2026. Everybody applies a word or a feeling to it, and mine is, finding and establishing a significant hold on my inner peace, no matter where I am and what I'm doing. Stay centered, stay grounded, stay steady, stay present, all of those things. And yesterday, I don't normally talk about any of my days, whether they're the good ones or the bad ones, but apparently that's changing, so there we go. Yesterday was an interesting day in that it started off like a bit of a wall up. But then it switched real quick, like within a couple of hours of me posting a video saying, it's a hard day, but keep trusting, keep doing, and you'll be okay. And that's a low day, and then it switched around like crazy, and then I found myself having to sit in a storm and stay calm, like a real big one. And I woke up this morning, and that storm hasn't, it's might have, blown off some of the initial stuff, but it's still quite a blowy storm, and stayed again a little bit, not as still as I would have liked, not as confident as I was like, but I would definitely say that is a move in the right direction, what I found inside of myself. So that's really, really positive. I think that's a really good thing. It's a concerted effort when you are in a storm to stay reminding of yourself that you are steady, calm, safe, whatever it is that needs to happen. But the other thing that comes, this is a bit spastic, but whatever. What also comes, after a point of time of reflection, is you recognize there's so many lessons inside that storm, even if it isn't your storm. If you found yourself experiencing the storm, what can you ascertain for yourself out of the storm? And for me, it was a fantastic lesson in, my creativity and how I choose to live. And how to marry these two, because it has been a bit of a battle to find that there's a lot of programming around creativity, and then also a lot of programming about how I live, and so that's really, those are the good things to focus on. So for myself, tiny living, on the road in Dolly is my jam. But sewing when I'm out on the road and that sort of thing can be, or knitting or doing any sort of creative project, can be a bit of a challenge, because you have to set up the space and take down the space, because you have to set up everything and take down everything. When you live that way, there's nothing that gets left lingered out for any significant amount of time. That's not how living like that works. So finding a deeper going, figure it out. Not that there was any, or in most of the time, well, not most of the time, sometimes, I don't know what the ratio would be, but sometimes there is no, ta-da, you've arrived. It's like, this is what you need to focus on. You need to focus on this. And I appreciate that maturity, because knowing where to put your gaze and your attention can be really helpful in chaotic times when everything wants your attention and there's a million pulls all over the place. So that's really, really helpful to know that it's how I can be creative, sit and sew with Sue, in this new way of being. And reprogramming all of that. So that's really, or knit with Karen. that kind of thing. It's really, it's a good day to explore what that means and how that can work and how you can create and stay in your creative flow. So it's a neutral day. I wouldn't say that it's like a woohoo hooray day. I've just discovered it's a Friday, so that brings a whole bunch of interesting tasks that need doing. But it's Friday, and that's a good day. Friday's a good day. So I will create and I will do what's needed for myself on the day after, when you're this on this sort of bell curve, you're on here, of your learning curve of whatever it is we're learning. And today mine is about how to be creative with the life I've chosen. So yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. They'd like me to say the phrase, my mess is my message. Now, this was said to me some time ago. I don't know that I necessarily remember it from where, but so I don't know if anybody has, combed and owned that string of letters together, and needs credit. If they need credit, sure, they can have it, but my mess is my message. So there you go. There you go. It's a really good day to just get refocused. Only love lives here. Only love lives here. Only love lives here. Bye for now.